Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by Layla Carroll herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear.
Hey everybody, this is me, Layla, and I have a special guest here today, and his name is Tony. He's actually my dad. So today's topic is about when you recognize that you have an addiction, and he's a recovering addict. He's actually has been sober for quite some time now.
Over 10 years.
Over 10 years. That's a long time to go day by day to get past the thing that kept you in bondage. So I'm going to ask him a series of questions and just let him talk about his experience and how he overcame his addiction. First off, let's talk about one addiction that you had, which was alcoholism. When you first became aware that you had a problem, how was that?
To tell you the truth, alcoholism is a subtle addiction. It comes over a period of time. You'll start off in your addiction to alcoholism as a weekend drinker. You'll start off the way that I started off was I became addicted to alcohol subtly by going to clubs, nightclubs on the weekend. Over a period of time, the weekend drinking, it got replaced. The weekend drinking got replaced when it come to a period in time where I was unemployed, where I found a lot of time on my hand with nothing to do. This is when you go from being a subtle drinker to a full-time drinker. You actually see yourself go from drinking subtly on the weekend to drinking every day. By that, I mean this. Once at one time when you would only drink weekend, say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you get up and go to church, no drinking. Then the other 5 days during the week, you was at work, no drinking. Well, everything changed. Now you got a lot of free time on your hand. What exactly happened is, in the process, I did not notice that my drinking, which was only a weekend thing, turned into an everyday thing. When it got to the point to where I woke up in the morning and I took a drink of alcohol before I even ate breakfast, that was the onset of alcoholism starting. I didn't notice it at first. To me, it seemed like a normal thing until it got to the point to where I caught myself going to the liquor store. Well, I'll tell the truth on that. The subtle drinking on the weekend changed. It became an everyday thing when I was going back and forth to the liquor store every day. Well, not once, not twice, 3 times, back and forth to go and get another fifth of liquor. Then I woke up one morning and I looked and said to myself, I said, you know what? It's talking to myself, it's done got to the point where not only do I go back and forth to the liquor store 2-3 trips a day, I have woken up this morning and found a fifth of liquor sitting on the end table right there by the lamp, waiting.
Now, the thing is that some people relate to being an alcoholic because they get up in the morning to drink for breakfast. But I know that being an alcoholic doesn't relate to only just drinking in the morning. Some people might not start drinking until 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening, but even if they do, they drink a lot. And they drink until they pass out and become drunk or belligerent, or they just not themselves. And even though they don't get up in the morning to have it for breakfast, it's still an everyday day. It's still an everyday thing to where they're drinking every single day and they cannot go without it. That still makes them alcoholic too. It's just a different form of alcohol. Some people have to have it in the morning, which became their breakfast. And then you got some people have to have it as a nightcap, become their sleep medicine, their sleep aid.
See, this is what is actually going on. The person is actually rationalized to their own self. My drinking is not that bad. I only drink this amount in the evening time, not all through the day. What the person has actually done, he's rationalized to himself that I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink all day, every day. When in actuality, what they're doing, they overlook the fact that they're actually doing what they're saying they're not doing.
Yeah, they're doing what they say they're not doing. Exactly. They're drinking every day.
Yeah, and I'm rationalizing what I'm doing. I ain't that bad. I only had these many today. Well, this is where I come to understand and realize it wasn't the amount. It wasn't only just the amount I was having during the daytime. It was the fact that it was touching my lips, going down into my stomach. Mm-hmm. That was the first mistake. I'm already an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. Now, all I did was medicate.
Right.
I medicated then. I fed my addiction so that it would settle down and not bother me.
Right.
But I rationalized it into thinking, hey, telling myself, it's not that bad. When in actuality, it was that bad. If I wouldn't have had that first drink going down and touching my lips and going down into my stomach, mm-hmm. I wouldn't have the craving for the alcohol.
I remember vaguely when I was a child, I remember seeing you intoxicated.
Yeah.
I do. I remember that you couldn't even walk straight. You was falling on your back. Instead of walking forward, you was stumbling and you was falling down and literally hitting the ground, where there was people who had to help carry you home.
Yes.
I remember watching that. And at that time, I didn't understand because I was so young. I didn't understand what was happening with you. I just noticed that you couldn't walk. And I was like, what's wrong with that? And people were like, no, don't worry about it. He'll be okay. But I really knew something was wrong.
See, at that period of time, I had to come to the realization, that's when you completely drunk on your butt, you're out of control, you're not able to control your stability, your motion of being stable. You're intoxicated. Your mind and your brain in actuality has alcohol swirling around your brain.
Oh.
And that alcohol is causing, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That alcohol is actually cooking your brain. It's cooking your brain and it's destroying cells in your brain.
True.
And I was actually rationalizing and telling myself, hey, it ain't that bad. When in actuality, I'm stumbling all over the place. My equilibrium is gone. I can't keep myself up straight. That's drunk. What they call drunk.
Yes.
That's intoxicated.
Yes.
You intoxicated to the point to where I could not control my own motions of standing stable. Unable to do it. The amount of alcohol that's around my brain is actually destroying some cells. Okay, you get to that point right there. When you to that point, you're at the point to where they say you're getting ready to black out.
Oh.
You're getting ready to pass out.
I never experienced a blackout before because I never drank that much to where I black out. And I have to be truthful about this. I watched people get like that, and I never wanted to be that way. I used to see, especially young girls in the club, and I remember one time I stopped this guy from fondling a young girl in the club because she was so wasted that she was falling all out of the place. Her friends left her on the stairways where people coming up and down the stairs, and she had on a skirt and everything. And I kept watching her because I was so puzzled to trying to understand why did her friends leave her like that, first off. And then I saw this guy, and he started trying to lay on top of her. And I said something. I was not going to sit there and watch this girl get raped in the club like that. I just wasn't going to do it.
This is the thing. A lot of people don't believe it, but it's true. Alcoholism for a male and alcoholism for a female is two different things.
Yeah, that's true.
Most people don't think it is, but it is.
Yeah.
See, the reason that I say that is alcoholism for a male is not as vulnerable as a female is. He don't possess the same thing.
Right.
But yet it's still during the period of time of alcoholism, this way a male is vulnerable at.
Mm-hmm.
A male is vulnerable at the times that they are alcoholic of getting taken advantage of, and they think that they're not.
Right.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But they get advantage of getting taken advantage of is this, raw.
Yeah, they can get robbed.
They don't look at the fact that they could get robbed. It's not that the person wants their sex on.
Mm-hmm.
They want what they possess. Their jewelry, their watch, their money.
Yeah. Okay, I remember David. I had to help him in that situation once before. We had went to a Halloween party. And this was a spur of the moment. One of our friends was having a Halloween party. Her name was Cookie. And I remember us going to this party. He got so drunk. And this is my first time seeing him like that too. Mm-hmm. And it just dawned on me like, this dude is towed up. And he started taking his money out of his pocket. He had about $1,000 in his pocket. And I remember him having that money because I saw him take it out of the car, put it in his pocket when we went into the party. Yeah. And it was a house party. So when these girls was hanging all over him, he was sitting down in the chair. They was trying to give him a lap dance, but I knew they was not trying to give him a lap dance. I was like, they trying to steal this man's money.
And actually, what they were doing was
what I did was
the fact that he was drunk.
Yes, what I did was I walked over to him while they was trying to give him a lap dance. I stuck my hand in his pocket. I pulled all the money out and I put it in my pocket. And then I let them proceed what they was doing. Go ahead and give them that lap dance. That's what you're going to do. But you're not going to get what you're actually trying to do. I'm always alert. When I'm at a party or something, I might drink a little bit, but I'm not drinking to get wasted. And I'm always alert. I want to know what's happening around me. And so the next day, when we got back I had took him to his house. I went on ahead and went home. And I didn't let him drive. And I had his keys, and he was called me on the phone. He's like, Layla, I don't know what happened last night, but I don't have my keys and I don't have my money. And I told him, I got your money and I got your keys.
I'm going to stop you right there. The reason that I say I'm going to stop you right there is you just hit on a very important point.
Which one was that?
You hit on the point of blackout. Mm-hmm. That's what you actually witnessed was a person. What you witnessed was a person that actually had a blackout. Blackout is this: it's a momentarily gaps in consciousness where you don't actually know what you're doing. Your brain has actually shut down. You went to sleep, full awake.
Oh, okay.
You went to sleep, I'm going to say it again. You went to sleep full awake. They call it a blackout. Right. You're unconscious to what you are actually doing.
Right.
things are going on around you, but yet at the same time, all you doing is black. You see nothing but darkness. Nothing's going on in the pictures in your mind because your brain has actually gone to sleep with you wide awake.
I can see that. I can see that because he didn't even realize when I got him to his house. I had his truck. I'm the one who had his vehicle. So when I got him to his house and I'm trying to open up the door and he's just stumbling and going on, and finally got him inside and put him in his bed, and I said, okay, he's safe. I'm going to go home. So I went on, took his keys, and I went home, and I still had his money because I didn't know if someone was going to show up at his house later on and take it. So I was like, I'll make sure he gets it in his hand when he's sober. So when he called the next day, and he was like, Layla, I don't know what happened. I don't have my keys. I don't have my vehicle, and I don't have my money. And I said, don't worry about it. I have it. I have everything.
See, I'm going to interrupt you right there. This is the thing that most people don't realize, a lot don't know, because most people, the majority of the people haven't had the benefit of being an alcoholic and then have to subject themselves to going through an Alcoholic Anonymous class where they come to the realization of their own behavior that they were performing while they was under the influence of alcohol.
I'm glad you mentioned Alcoholic Anonymous because I was going to get there too. That's another point I wanted to make. So with that type of class, what are the steps that they take?
It's a 7-step program. It's a program of recognition first. First, you got to recognize that you do have a problem.
True.
Once you that's the number one step. Once you got past the number one step of recognition, you get to step number 2. Step number 2. Okay, I recognize that I have a problem. Now I'm at step number 2. Step number 2. What do I do to reverse this problem that I have? I'm not going to be able to do it by myself. I better tell myself that.
Yes.
I got to seek professional help.
Yes.
Someone has already performed these steps and did it successfully till they got to the point where they reversed the habit of drinking alcohol and got it to the point where they no longer consumes alcohol anymore at all.
Right.
That is a process that takes a 7-step. Reason I say it's a 7-step. Okay. Number 1, like I say, realization, recognition. Number 2, finding a source course that I'm going to have to go through where I'm trying to reverse what has actually happened to me. It's a process. Okay, I didn't get in this process. I didn't get to this point overnight.
Right.
It was a step-by-step process. So in order for me to undo this behavior that I'm performing, I'm going to have to take a step-by-step process to reverse it backwards, one step at a time, to get it back to its original form.
Get that one day at a time.
Yeah, that's why you get that one day at a time. I didn't get here overnight.
Yes.
So I don't expect this problem to be solved overnight. I got here step by step, one day at a time. First, I started off subtly. Then it elevated from just subtly being a weekend thing to a day-by-day thing. Next thing I know, I looked around, it's all day.
You're right.
This is where the step-by-step, one day at a time.
I know you mentioned about you had a mentor.
Yes.
So I remember coming to when I was coming to visit you in Dickinson when you was going through your rehab program.
Yes.
I didn't know that you had a mentor at that time, but I remember you saying that you wrote a letter to everybody that you heard.
That's the 7th step.
Okay, that's the last step.
That's the last step.
So what are the other steps? Okay, you have admission. Okay.
Recognition.
Okay.
Number 3 is behavior pattern. By behavior pattern, I got to get myself into a treatment course where I go step by step, one day at a time, working my way backwards from what I did to myself. Okay, I started off drinking on the weekend. It accelerated. Now I'm drinking every day. Okay, I got to reverse this. By reversing this, I got to go step by step. Okay, number 1. This day, I got up. I did not take a drink. I ate my breakfast. I went through my day. I ate my lunch. I recognized the craving,
Right.
but I didn't give in to the craving.
Right.
I substituted the craving with something else.
Okay.
What I substituted the craving with was something to do
Right.
that occupied my time and had my hands busy.
Right.
Where my hands in the past, they were busy pouring a drink. Now I substituted, they busy doing something else. I'm doing something constructive with my hand instead of destructive with my hand.
Right.
The destructive was the alcohol that I was putting into my body. Now I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing something constructive. My constructive thing for me was auto mechanics.
Oh yeah, you was a good mechanic. I remember.
Auto mechanics was my
I used to always have you
constructive
come fix
thing.
my car.
As long as I busied myself doing auto mechanic work, I wasn't drinking.
So basically, what you're saying is you occupied your time with something that you was good at doing that was actually also helpful to not only yourself but to others.
Substituted a bad behavior with a good behavior.
Got it.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Cara style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarolstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like.
Now, as I go on, now, fourth step. I had to get me a case counselor, someone that actually had walked the walk that I was walking and successfully completed that walk.
And that's very important. When you get somebody who's already walked in your shoes, they can relate more than someone who never been there. They can tell you how they overcame.
Is give you a support system.
Okay.
Somebody that's going to support you in your journey through alcoholism, where you reversing from being an alcoholic to becoming a non-alcoholic, a non-drinker.
Right.
Okay, now I got somebody that's supporting me. I have a case counselor, someone that's walked this walk. He's been through this walk. He know what it takes to do it. Right. Therefore, I got somebody that's going to go hand in hand with me. Hey, man, you don't have to walk this walk alone. Right. I'm going to walk this walk with you. If you stumble, I'm going to grab your hand. Right. If you go to fall, I'm going to grab your hand. That's to steady you. I'm not going to walk for you. I'm going to walk with you.
Right.
That means a whole lot.
That's a whole lot.
I'm not making this journey by myself.
And that's what people need. It needs a partner that can help them when they are struggling. Because struggles, it's very real.
Not only that, along with the case counselor, they provide you with a phone number. The reason that they provide you with their personal phone number is anytime that you see yourself growing weak, I have this phone that I can pick up and I can call. And I can say, hey, Jacob, I'm starting to get weak. I see myself starting to fall, considering going back and having a drink. At that time, the case counselor that you have will take up their time and they say, hey, wait a minute. Stop. Stay right there where you are at. Let me know exactly where you are at. I will be there in 5 to 10 minutes to pick you up.
Right.
To support you.
Right.
Just don't take that drink.
Yes.
So don't take it. I didn't take it. Don't take that drink. Don't take that smoke. Mm-hmm. Regardless of whichever one that addiction is. Just hang on.
Yes.
When the case counselor get there, then this is what I did. Thank you very much for coming to my aid at a time that I needed your help.
Right.
You took up your personal time. You are no kin to me.
Right.
You are no relative to me. In actuality, you are a completely different person from me. We have no connection. But you cared enough to take up your time to come and pick me up to aid me in my time of need.
Right.
When I was weak, you were strong.
Right.
Therefore, you extended to me a helping hand. I took that helping hand. Now, I got to show that I'm grateful for that helping hand that you gave me.
Right.
And I got to stand up on my own 2 feet and say, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do it anymore.
And that's why it's so important that you have a friend.
Yes.
Because there's nothing like, you have a brother and, there's someone that you was born with. But when you have a friend, that's someone that chose to be with you versus someone who have to be with you.
Yes.
And that what made it so special because, like you said, this person is no kin to you.
Right.
And he took it upon himself to say, I'm still going to help you. I'm going to show you that you're not alone. Because nobody should ever walk that walk alone.
To actually have that physical person there.
Right.
Where you can see, hey, this person took up their time, their own personal time, to come and give me some aid to help me to stand straight and stay sober, not to put any more of that substance. I don't care whether it's alcohol or drugs, not to put any more of that substance into my body. You took up your personal time. You cared enough. That's demonstrated to me somebody has some love in their heart for me. Unconditional love.
Right.
He didn't have to do this for me.
Right.
He took his own personal time to do this.
And that's about the seventh step. Your seventh
you get
step.
into the seventh step. Seventh step is a step of remission. Mm-hmm. Remission and admission. You admitting I am admitting to myself that I've actually done physical and emotional harm to others in my lifetime through my journey of alcoholism. Now I have to sit down and write a letter to each and every one of these people that I have personally hurt, emotionally and physically. Write a letter to them, asking them to forgive me for my behavior in the past, for what I did to them.
How did that make you feel while you was writing the letters?
What it makes you feel is a sense of remorse. You recognizing what you have done to other people, and you are actually asking these people that you have harmed, forgive me. And you trust within yourself that they're gonna forgive you. Whether they respond to that letter that you sent to them or not. When you sit down and actually take your time and write this letter, I'm sitting here writing this letter, admitting that I harm you in this way, I harm you in that way, and I'm asking you, forgive me for the harm that I brought to you. What that does to me is that gives me a sense of forgiveness.
Right.
I've actually sit down and admitted that I did somebody wrong. And I wrote this here on paper and sent this letter to them, to their address. Oh, they're going to get it. Mm-hmm. Whether they respond back to me or not, they going to get this letter because I sent it to their address.
Right.
When they got it out the mail, that's up to them to read it. And this is what actually happened. This happened with me and Suge. Mm-hmm. I wrote her one personally.
Yes.
But instead of mailing it to her, I hand delivered it to her.
Okay.
And to ensure the fact that she knew what was on this letter asking forgiveness, I read it word for word to her, face to face.
And that's deep.
That's way I know that she got the letter asking for forgiveness. Then I gave it to her. I said, it's up to you what you do with the letter. I have performed my duty.
Right.
I performed my obligation.
Right.
I wrote a letter of remorse asking for forgiveness from you. Here it is. It's yours to do whatever you want to do with it.
I remember one time, and I know you probably remember this, my mom, she told me this out of her own mouth. that she was holding you accountable for so many things that you had done to her, that even when I think she had got into some trouble that she had called you for to help her get out of it, and she made it a point to say that you owe her because she raised me and my brother and without you actually being there to help. And just what she said to me, that Tony told me, how long you gonna hold this over my head? No, I wasn't there. So how long I'm gonna be punished for this? And she said that was when she realized that, and at this time, me and my brother are grown. So she said that was when she realized that she needed to stop holding you accountable for everything that happened during the time while we was younger. To hear her say that, it did make me feel like, first off, I never really knew everything that happened, but I do know what I witnessed myself. And my situation of what I witnessed from you was not really the alcohol. Now we're going to talk about the other part, yes, which is the hard stuff, the drugs.
See, I don't have a problem admitting it.
Yes. So I remember seeing some things that really like opened my eyes up to you, but you still being my dad, I still love you, and I didn't care about all the stuff that everybody had to say. And that's the thing about a child. A child is so resilient when it comes to the love of their parents. It doesn't matter what the parent is doing until they get grown, then things change. Yeah, but a child, it's just like, I forgive you, I don't care, you my mom, you my dad, is whatever. But as I got older, I started having to realize that an addiction is also an illness.
It is.
It's not just something that you can say, why they doing it? They need to just get over it and stop. It's not that easy.
I'm going to stop you there. This is where I had to come to the realization and admit to myself. Not only that, I learned that this also in the Alcoholics Anonymous class. First, I'm going to have to learn to forgive myself. In order for me to forgive myself, I got to look back in my past behavior to see the harm that I have done to other people. True enough, the ones that I really come to the realization that I did the most harm to were the ones that loved me the most. I had harmed them, not only through an embarrassment, by the destructive things that I was doing to myself and the public having to witness this and then go back to my relatives and tell them about it. I saw your dad doing this. I saw your dad doing that. That's hurt on my relatives that I hadn't realized during the time that I was doing this behavior that I was actually doing to them.
Right.
So I had to come to realization, hey, Almighty God, I see that I have caused irreparable harm to my relatives indirectly, even though they were not involved in it, but yet they have to endure what people are saying on the outside.
And also the absence of you not being there.
That's true.
That was one of the parts that I had to endure. I do have to say that the most pivotal parts of my life, God allowed you to be there. And I would say the first time I got my heart broken, I don't know if you remember, but I got my heart broken. I was 16 years old. I wrote you a letter. You was locked up at this time. I wrote you a letter and I was telling you how I felt. I couldn't tell my mom.
See, that's another issue right there that you just struck upon. Right there. The time that I had to do in prison.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that, hey, you do time in prison, that means you're a bad person. You done did something bad. Not necessarily.
No, some people are actually in there and they didn't do anything.
Not necessarily.
So, yeah, I know.
What I come to the realization is this. During that time that I spent in prison, it was a time and a period for me to reflect upon my behavior in the past that led me to being there in prison.
Yeah.
I had to look at that. look at my behavior in the past that led me to prison. And doing so, I had to make a decision. I had to decide. I had to look at myself seriously. That's what looking and talking to the man in the mirror come in at.
Yeah.
I had to really actually get myself in that mirror and talk to myself. Self-talk. I had to ask myself, are you going to go back and do what you did in the past and then return back to this place where you own a merry-go-round that's going round and round and on circle and you don't know how to get off of it? So at some point, you're going to have to stop doing something for this merry-go-round to stop, for you to get off this merry-go-round. That way you won't keep going round and round in a circle, repeating the same behavior over and over. That's what they call recidivism. You're going in the door, out the door, in the door, out the door, in the door, out the door. You ain't looked at the fact that you went back to doing the same thing that you was doing before you ever come through the door. So something got to change somewhere in order for you to get off this merry-go-round that you own.
Yeah.
And that something got to be you.
Right.
In order for you to get off that merry-go-round that you own, you're going to have to do something different.
Yeah, you have to.
And in doing something different, you're going to have to choose different behavior. Okay, first of all, you know what got you here. So now you know what not to be doing.
So what was the answer to that question that you just said? What's going to be different? What was it that was the different that you did that got you to be sober and to say, I'm going to make this life change?
This is what got me to change my life. I look back and I started counting. I done spent this year here, that year there, this many years. And I started counting. And I said, wait a minute. I actually did 27 years to do a 20-year sentence. I did this to me. I took 27 years of my life, incarcerated myself, and went back and forth to giving someone else control over my life to where they could tell me when I could go and when I cannot go, when I need to be at home, when I need to be up to their office, and they have the power of choosing whether I stay free or be locked up. No, I'm tired of this. I had to come to the realization and tell myself, hey, are you tired of it? Yes, I'm tired of it. Now I got to do something different. I have to do something different for me to bring a stop to this behavior that I've been conducting in my life. So I made up my decision. I said, you know what? I didn't get here overnight, but I'll be doggone. I'm going to go day by day. I can do this. If I can abstain from doing this today, then I didn't get in any more trouble. I didn't drink. I didn't use drugs. Now I can lay down and get me a good night's sleep. But guess what? That battle starts all over again in the morning.
Yeah.
Just because I won it yesterday.
Yeah.
That don't mean nothing. I got that battle to fight again today.
Right.
So what I'm going to do different? Then sure, I look at myself. I say, wait a minute. What have I been doing differently that kept me from repeating my old behavior? Come to realization. What I did was I did it one day at a time, minute by minute, hour by hour. Mm-hmm. So it's been working. So why don't I keep this up?
Right.
Since it's been working. And then slowly but surely, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, start going by. And then they keep going, they keep rolling. And then after a while, I look back, I say, you know what? I see 7 years behind me that I didn't do drugs, that I didn't drink alcohol. I didn't do this overnight. I did this one day, minute by minute, hour by hour, until that day was gone. It worked yesterday, so why don't I keep it up?
Right, so it can work today.
And slowly but surely, the weeks went by, the months went by, the years went by. Now I can look and I see years behind me. 10 years so far. No drinking, no drugs.
You know, when I had you be paroled to my house, I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to happen
I can
in that
understand
situation because I have heard so many stories, but not only that I heard stories, I witnessed certain things about you. So I was nervous, like, I don't know what's going to happen if I get here. So I prayed and asked God to make sure that everything work out.
I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna stop you right there. I know exactly what you're talking about because for the simple fact that I stopped and I questioned my own mind. The day that you came to me, 2014, I was staying in Rainey's house. You told me, you said, I've been to your parole officer. Your parole officer agreed that you need to go to a rehab. I went to the rehab and scheduled you an appointment and stayed there at the rehab. Now it's up to you. You got to be willing to go ahead and submit yourself to this rehabilitation program.
Do you remember the letters that I brought you?
Yes.
All those letters came from when I was a kid and you used to write me letters when you was in prison. I kept those letters and I brought them letters to you. I gave them to you in a whole bag, a pack. And I say, I'm going to give these letters to you. I want you to read these letters. These letters date all the way back to I was like my son's age, 9 years old. I said, I don't care if you get locked up again. I'm not writing you another letter.
I read those. I looked at those. I looked at those and I said to myself, I said, you know what? I'm actually looking here and seeing the harm that I caused over the years to my own family, and they didn't deserve this. So, in order for me to be a better man, I got to change my behaviors. I got to change my way of acting. I got to change my everyday activity. I got to do something completely different than what I did in the past that led me to this position where I am today. And therefore, by saying that and learning that, once again, I'm going back to the Alcoholics Anonymous program because most people don't believe that it's also tied into the drug addiction.
It is.
It's closely tied to it.
Yeah.
What works for an alcoholic will work for a drug addict.
Yes.
Most people don't believe it, but it will.
Yeah.
See, that was what me and your mama kind of fell out at.
Right.
She thought the Alcoholics Anonymous classes wasn't working.
Right.
She took me to a couple of them.
Right.
And she stayed there, and she stayed there at one till she got bored or whatever, and she left me there.
Right.
And when did what she had to do, well, she knew I didn't have a ride back, so she returned. And she honestly told me, she said, Tony, I don't understand how you can sit here through this boring class and listen to these people talk about their life and what they went through when they was drinking and drugging and everything. I told her, I said, what you missing is this. It's medicine. It's a form of medication. By them talking about what they went through in their life in alcohol and drug addiction, I'm picking up reasons from them why I need to be strong in this area or that area,
right,
not to do that. In other words, I'm picking up fortification from them. In their time of weakness, they giving off some fortification. It's up to me to accept this and put it to work in my life. No, it wasn't for the outsider looking in. It was for this insider right here, me, that was already caught in the activity. That was the medication that I needed to get myself well, to become strong enough to put one foot in front of the other foot and say, no, I'm not going back to that.
When a person haven't walked the shoes that you walk, it's hard for them to understand the shoe that you're wearing.
True.
And that's where her mindset was, because she hadn't been in a position to where she had to attend those type of classes to understand that it works for you.
You know, that's true. I'm going to stop you right there. That's very true. The reason that I say that's very true, it's unfortunate that people that live out here in the free world that haven't been exposed to the supervision, the Alcoholics Anonymous classes, the drug treatment classes that I was exposed to. I was mandatory for me to do that. In order for me to acquire my freedom once again and get off parole, it was mandatory for me to complete these classes. That's what these classes actually woke my eyes up to the behavior that I was performing in the past. If I would not have taken those classes, the Alcoholics Anonymous class, the drug treatment class, I never would have looked back and seen the behavior that I was performing in the past that was causing this destruction to me in my life.
Yes.
Someone had to point this out to me.
Yeah, that's
for
true.
me to see it.
That's true.
Once they pointed it out to me, and that was the drug treatment class there in Dickinson, the drug treatment class here in Houston, the AA classes that I took, all of that pointed that out to me, which made it mandatory. Now that it's been pointed out to me, it's incumbent upon me to do something.
So basically, it's like you roam around in darkness for so long that someone finally got a flashlight and shined it on you to show you the way out of that dark hole.
Yes. Yes.
That is beautiful. And, you know, so we're going to end up wrapping up this. But before we wrap it up, I want to talk to you about your freedom. Now that you are no longer addicted to any substance abuse, how does your mind feel now? Like, what do you do on your daily basis now?
It's a completely different mindset. The mind is right. I'm gonna tell you like this. My mindset now is clear. There's no fogginess, none whatsoever. What I do now is I look at the future. What do I need to be doing in the future to come to ensure that I will not ever fall back into my old behavior of alcoholism and drug addiction?
Yes. That's
done on a day by day basis. I know what works. What works is for me to occupy myself doing things constructive.
Right.
I know what works also. Do not go back to using again. That's number one priority.
Right.
Do not go back to using again. How I do that is by occupying my time doing other things other than drinking or drugging.
Right.
That involves other people.
Right.
You know, okay. So
good people, because some people are bad. You don't want to hang around the wrong crowd.
Yeah. See, this is where you just said is true. I learned that I would have to be careful in picking and choosing who I associate myself with.
Yes.
I couldn't associate myself with a person that drank. That's the behavior that I'm trying to stay away from. I couldn't associate with myself with a person that's using drugs on me every day. That's another behavior that I'm discouraging and staying away from. Right. So I have to surround myself with people that do not do those things.
Right.
When I do interact and socialize with other people, it's got to be a person that does not do those destructive things.
Right.
Otherwise, if I associate with a person that's alcoholic, drug addict, that's
you
involved
eventually
in them,
end up going back.
Association bring about assimilation. I'm gonna cut it short right there. If I stay around this long enough, I'm gonna start acting like this.
Right.
So do not associate myself with those people. I don't care. I'll tell the truth. Yeah, sometimes being by myself, it'll get lonely. But yet, at the same time, I know how not to be lonely. I can occupy myself. I got a television in there. Right. I got a radio in there. I got a car right there. Yes. Occupy myself with something else. If I feel boredom coming on, I'll go and do so. I don't care if I have to go for a walk. Right. I got people that I talk to. It's an older lady, not far away from here, that I've been communicating with. She told me, come talk with her anytime. Yes. That's how I alleviate boredom.
Right.
By going to visit and talk with somebody.
Yeah, having a companion.
Yeah, someone to fellowship with. Somebody to fellowship, somebody to talk to, someone to communicate with. Yeah. That breaks the boredom.
Yes.
I'm not bored anymore. I went and talked to somebody. I went and associated with somebody. I may not be on an everyday basis, but in my times of loneliness and feeling low, and when I might feel a little bit of weakness, get up off my butt and move.
Yes.
Don't sit there and soak in.
Yeah.
Get up off my butt and move. Go do something different. Go for a walk. Go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And then I feel a whole lot better.
Went on by and it's a whole new day.
I feel a whole lot better.
Ready, time to go to bed and get ready for the next day.
I feel a whole lot better. Then I can come back home and I can decide, what do I need to be doing at the house? Is it something I need to be washing, take a bath, wash clothes, cook, or go out, check the mail, different things like that.
That was one of the reasons.
Occupy my time.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I wanted you to help me with my son. I wanted you to be in his life because I felt like if you are part of his life, it gives you more of a motivation to live for.
Yes.
And it also gives you a second chance.
Yes.
A do-over.
That's why see, right there, you just spoke upon something like that. That's why I made the decision, number one, to get myself moved back to Bay City where I'm going to and get myself settled. That way, summertime come, you have a place to bring him so that he could be with me and he can get
cousins.
to know his other relatives.
Yeah.
And I got to be settled for that.
Yeah.
You
do.
I have
but you settled now. But I know you want to go back to your hometown.
Yeah, I'm settled now. But this is the thing with this: Houston is not home to me.
I hear you.
It's too many things go on here in the city.
Right.
I don't consider this a good environment to be raising a child.
I hear you.
It's entirely too many activities, too much street things go on in this city.
Yeah.
It's too big of a town.
I agree.
That's
why we moved him to the little
and it's hard
small Muff Bluff area.
It's hard to keep up with
to get him around a community that will actually look out for him.
Yes, it's hard to keep up with a young person's activities and movement in a big city.
It is.
In a small town setting, yes, it's not hard at all.
Because
everybody know everybody. And this is the thing about a small town setting. Small town setting is like a little village.
Right, it is.
Everybody in that little village know somebody
that knows
you. If you doing something that you ain't got no business doing,
they gonna tell
somebody in that small community gonna see it and gonna report it to your kin people.
They sure are.
And your kin people are gonna bring it to you.
Oh, I done dealt with that many times growing up in Bay City. I know. I do know. I remember so many times getting in trouble before I got home. Like, how does she know about that? I haven't even got home yet. And she's like, I already know.
That's because a small town is like a little village.
That's a good thing. I'm glad you are going to settle there. That's wonderful because I did wonder about that. I'm like, okay, he's getting up in age. And
that's another thing I take into consideration.
You should be around close relatives that will be able to check on you every day. Now that I'm not living in Houston.
I have to take into consideration. I'm not getting any younger. I'm going to be 70 years old here.
On New Year's Day.
That's 1 month more.
You are.
I look at that and I say, wow, 70 years old.
God has really smiled upon you. He gave you some glorious years because he knew what the future holds.
I look at it and I say, I done outlived my older sister 2 years older than me. I outlived my younger sister younger than me. Now, what do I need to do? Number one, settle myself down, get myself in a place where I'm going to spend the rest of my life at, and then go on forward from there. All of this is going to come day by day, time by time, as time go on.
I'm glad that you got yourself
the biggest part about it that I like
in a position to where you know where you want to be.
This is the part that I like so much about it. That's good. I'm not in a rush.
And there's no need to rush.
I'm not in a rush to do anything. I'm not addicted to any substance. So therefore, the world is open to me.
Right.
I can go any direction that I want to go, but I choose to go back and settle down.
At your home.
Right.
Right.
Because it's benefits there. It's things there that I'm missing here that I cannot get down there.
Right.
Oh, for instance, going fishing.
Right.
Number 2, deer sausage.
Ooh.
Number 3, berries.
Love that deer sausage.
Number 3, berries. They ain't got no berries nowhere around here. Number 4, pecans.
Yes.
No pecans nowhere around. See, it's benefits down there that it's not
And you get to grow your garden.
And I get to grow me another garden.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's leisure. That's peace of mind.
Right.
That's time that's being occupied doing something constructive instead of destructive.
Right.
See, I'm at a point right now in my life, hey, I'm a senior. I'm not a youngster anymore. The rest of my life, I need to use it to do something beneficial for someone younger than me. There we go right there.
Yeah, your grandson that's staring at you right now, smiling. How do you feel about listening to your grandfather's story? You didn't know all this, did you? Talk. So you didn't know all this, huh?
I did.
So how did it make you feel now that you know something about his history?
I feel good.
You feel good about what? What does it feel good about? Tell me.
Like, about, like, I feel good about, like, that I didn't know he did have drink liquor, but he doesn't do it anymore.
And drugs.
And drugs.
But see, everybody don't survive that. That's the thing. Your granddad is a survivor. That he beat the odds. A lot of people don't get that opportunity to survive it. Some people die. A lot of people die from addiction, from overdose. There's a lot of people that did not make it. Some just having to get a hold of the wrong kind, or did too much, or just their body wasn't strong enough to handle it. So drinking is not for everybody. Drugs is definitely not for anybody. But you have to understand that you're looking at a person who you can mimic your decisions off of. That's what I did. When I was growing up, I realized that was a lifestyle that I didn't want to have. Whether I'm a female or, being a male. You want to make sure that whatever choices you make, you don't have to make it a hard decision. You have to make it an easy decision. And the way you can do that is by watching how other people's lives turned out and what happened to them.
See what basically she is telling you? She is telling you this. You look at me and see from my life's behavior and what you're hearing and what you see, and you learn what not to do by my experiences that I went through and what I suffered going through that behavior. You learn what not to do.
You hear?
Me as a living example, because I lived it and I did it, and I know the harm that it caused.
And so you don't have to live that life. You don't have to relive a life that someone else have already done.
She is telling you
have a good outcome.
Things that's going to come about in life later on as you get old. See, once you finish high school, look at me. Once you finish high school, things in your life going to speed up. They're not going to slow down. They're going to speed up. You're going to see things. Excuse me. You're going to be around people doing things. And you're going to wonder, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? What you do is this. Remember what you're hearing now and look back at what you saw in life out of me and out of her. And you base your decision on that as to what you're going to do and what you're not going to do in life. What I say, what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Because them things that's going to affect you.
Yeah.
They're going to determine the type of person that you're going to be.
Yeah, they are.
About what you do and what you say.
I'm going to be a good person.
Okay. That's a day-by-day step.
That's something you have to work on every single hour.
Be a good person is a day-by-day step.
Because you can start off in the morning being real good, and then by the nighttime being something bad. So every hour you got to work on that.
You do it one day at a time. The reason I say one day at a time, because you live one day at a time. 24 hours in a day. Hour by hour. You live. And you look at it. See, things going to speed up once you get out of high school. They're going to change. Your life going to change drastically. It's going to change a whole lot. Right now, you're under the supervision of Tony. She provides your livelihood, your clothes, your food, place that you live at, take a bath at, going to school. You're under her supervision. But guess what? Once you finish high school, you're on your own.
That means that you have to make decisions that's going to help set you up in a position where you can be a man.
Graduate that 12th grade.
And learn how to provide for yourself. But that's what
it's gonna be
me and your pops are here for, to teach you.
It's going to be Kareem Jamal Jr.'s responsibility to feed himself, to keep a roof over his head, to have transportation to go places, and to get a college education. All of that's going to come full forward once you graduate that 12th grade.
But that's what we're going to be here is to help get you to that point. So you don't have to, I'm not going to throw you off to the wolves, okay? I'm going to let you know that now. I'm not throwing you off to the wolves. I'm going to help you along the way to get there.
I'm going to tell you
don't get scared about the future. Be excited about the future, okay?
This is why
You're not going to be alone. I'm going to help you.
She's telling you that for a real good reason. This is why she's telling you that. She's telling you that for the simple fact that I had to grow up without a mama or a daddy.
Yeah, his mom died.
My mother got killed when I was 14 years old.
So he didn't have that.
My daddy, he was never around. So I didn't have nobody to show me what it meant to be a man. You know how I learned what it meant to be a man? I learned what it meant to be a man by watching older guys than me. They were my mentors. Other people that were no kin to me. I had to watch them to learn what it meant to be a man. What a man do in life.
But see, you got somebody in the house with you.
See, that's where the difference is.
You
got guardians.
And you got me.
You got older people than you that love you, that's willing to take of their own time to show you, not only just to tell you, but to show you what you need to be doing that's right, and also what's wrong.
Yeah, pay attention to both sides.
We don't just
pay
do it
to
the right
and the wrong.
You look at both of them.
Yeah.
You look at this one, then you look at that one, and you make a decision down the middle. Which one? Right now, you're doing good. You know what? You know why you're doing good? Because you're still a child.
That's why I told you yesterday, don't rush your life. Remember when we was in the car? Speak.
You know why I say that?
Yes, ma'am.
See, this is the thing. As long as you're a child, you're innocent. By innocent, I mean you haven't been taught the bad things in the world to do. So far, being a child, you've been taught the good thing. You know the good thing. But guess what? Once you graduate high school and you grown, you're on your own. That's when the bad things in life will come. They come in the form of other people showing you the bad things to do.
But then that's a decision that you're going to have to make. What you're going to do. Remember I said, decide what kind of man you're going to be when you get older.
I'm going to do the right side.
But you have to realize that that's going to be a journey.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take time. Don't be discouraged.
You don't be in a hurry.
Yeah, never be in a hurry to grow up.
This is the thing.
Like
never be in a hurry to do what you see other people doing. That's the key.
Exactly.
That's the number one key. Don't be in a hurry to do what you see other people doing. The reason I say that, it'll cause you harm. It'll hurt you. Everything that you see other people doing is not good. So you want to decide which one you going to do. The things that's good or the things that's bad. You have to decide though. But guess what? You got time.
You got time.
You got plenty of time. Right now, what you now? 9 going on 10?
He 9, just turned.
9 going on 10.
Mm-hmm. So you got a lot of time to be a kid.
You got a whole nother 8 years.
Enjoy being a kid.
Just to try to get out of
I want you to be a kid while you're a kid. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Have fun and play and be creative and all that good stuff.
That
you see things that you know that don't look right or feel right. Guess what? It ain't right. All right?
But once you graduate high school, things will change.
Yes, sir.
Say what?
Yes, sir.
You what?
Yes, sir.
Once you graduate high school, things will change.
Okay, well, everybody, thank you for listening. You have just listened to Layla's podcast, Improving Your Thoughts by Freeing Yourself. And that was my dad, Tony, and my son at the end, Kareem. You know, he was here listening the whole time, so I just had to chime him in for a little bit to get his perspective on what he heard and to see where his mind was at. And, you know, I thank y'all for listening and subscribe to my podcast, as well as you can check me out on Facebook at Layla
the Queen. You can also check me out on Twitter at Layla Queen.
And also remember, life is a journey.
Yes,
It's a journey for each and every person.
Yes, everyone has their own destiny and their own story to tell and their own walk to walk. But you can also learn from others who have walked those trails before you. So that way you won't have to stumble and fall and bruise yourself when you can continue to just keep walking straight. Signing out, Layla. Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing Stress Management with Imaging Coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey you will be taking with us here at Imaging Coaching, we'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, regain control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com.